Right. So here's the teaching plan, right? Usually, right, it goes from 6 to 8 hours. We actually designed this game for executive programs. So usually in my case, it covered 2 to 3 weeks of class time. Now the reason it takes such a long time because every round has negotiation inside. So at contract negotiation, really takes time. Student just cannot stop. But with this time, you can cover many topics, right? So here is the list of all the rounds and the topics involved. Before the first round, right, we'll talk about supply chain challenges. Before the second round, we'll talk about strategic thinking or critical thinking on supply chain and marketing interfaces. How do we integrate? How do we trade off, right, supply chain and marketing decisions? How do we integrate the decisions? Now, in the third round, we'll talk about teamwork and group decisions. The fourth round, right, we will incorporate, right, the nature on supply chain collaboration by price and quantity contracts. Now, the fifth round, we'll talk about competitive supply chain strategies. And then we'll talk about negotiation and game trajectory. And finally, after the game is finished, we'll do a reflection on the game, right? And say, how do we transfer the knowledge we learned from the game to reality? So again, the topics covered are pretty wide, right? From supply chain collaboration by contracts, right, to supply chain marketing interfaces, right, to supply chain competition strategies, negotiation, teamwork, finally to international supply chains. The game sits, right, in a fresh flower business, right, which is quite representative of today's supply chain challenges, right? Because the products are perishable, right? It's fresh flowers, and lead time is relatively long, because most fresh flowers come from overseas, and also you incur a huge yield loss, right, in transit. Right? The demand is highly seasonal and unpredictable. It also relates to everyone, right? And the market competition is very intensive because everybody can sell flowers. And also the supply chain has two indispensable players, the importer and florist with conflict of interest. Right, so we're going to put the students, right, in teams into this collaborative and also competitive environment. In supply chain, we have an importer who is responsible for securing supply, and one florist who is responsible for generating a demand, right? So supply and demand, they have to work hand in hand, right, to make sure their business is successful. So together, they are competing against other supply chains for a share of the same market, right? And this is a dynamic game, right? Everybody, all the supply chains and every player start out the same, right? Teams play 6 rounds to win in the end. The florist and importers, both of them manage 3 product lines, right, and satisfy demand from 3 different market segments. Right, so the florists have to make marketing and pricing decisions, right? And both the importers and florists will make decisions on sales and operations planning, capacity, and OE. OE stands for operations excellency. So essentially, how much money you want to put, right, to train your workers, to improve efficiency, right, to shop your equipment, and so on. And of course, they also have to negotiate supply chain contracts, right? Here we use the most popular contracts, like the price and quantity contracts, right? So they have to negotiate how much to buy, right, and what wholesale price. Let's talk about some feedbacks from students and instructors on the game, right? We use this game in classes like supply chain management, supply chain analytics. So everywhere you want to cover supply chain collaboration contracts, or how to manage relationships, right, or negotiation is involved. So we use this game for undergraduates, graduates, and also executives or continuing education students. Actually, the game was originally designed for executive programs. Course format, we did it offline in classrooms or online, either synchronized or asynchronized. Instructors can set up the game for students to play, right? And just need to tell students when to submit the decisions so they can move to the next round. There's a homework assigned after the game. We ask students to tell us their key learnings, right? Most compelling learnings. We use natural language processing to analyze students' learnings. We find out why students mention the most about teamwork, right, in their feedbacks. Teamwork and strategic thinking, right, or critical thinking, right, because they mention strategies or strategic. And also students mention a lot about negotiation, right, competition, and collaboration. And here are some student sample feedbacks when we ask about their most compelling learnings. One student said the supply chain strategy game, which is FloraPark, right, or the exceptional learning experience. And another student said the best part of the simulation was the conflicting motivations between the firms, right, in the supply chain. There must be a careful balance between self-interested actions, that is backstabbing, right, to capture the maximum amount of value from the supply chain, right, and collaboration, which is handshaking, to compete, right, against other supply chains. This is the instructor feedback. We have University of Miami professor, first time EMBA teaching, and she said for this year's EMBA teaching, I got 5 out of 5. She's an excellent instructor. Like, the game is awesome because it's enthusiastically received by my students. And the team lost the first time, right, were unconvinced and said they had a bad start and want to play the game. So we did, and the result remained the same. The team, the one won, still won, and the one lost, still lost. Right, so winning teams reflection, collaboration, and win-win. So let me recap this game, and I will show you the interface a little bit. So in this game, students learn how to go from backstabbing to win-win, right, which is, I think, one of the most important lessons in managing supply chain relationships, in collaborating in supply chains. And students.
Professor Zhao?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah. Very good, very good.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for offering such a perfect webinar. I really enjoy even when you're talking about the game and how interactive it is with students and how it can benefit them. I'm thinking that is there any possibility that we can either you can send us kind of like information about how to play, I mean, having full packet of this game, or if the colleagues would kind of like create a team, if we have some time to just play fast and learn how to make it happen for our class. I don't know if it's a good time or not, but just wonder to ask.
Okay, great question. Yes, I do have a teaching deck with all the instructor manuals and all the lectures you can use. So that part is the complete teaching plan, and deck is ready. I can share, no problem. This game is quite thorough. There's a lot of details to cover. I can show you the interface. I'm not sure we have the time to play, honestly. But I will show you. We can play a few rounds of the second game, which has a similar interface but much simpler. I hope that's okay with you.
Yeah, totally fine. My point is that if we can have some kind of like experience while you are here, because that would be perfect in terms of like maybe learning some tips. But you're talking about the next game. That game is kind of like the first part of the game before having these FloraPark. That's your suggestion because you said it's a simpler one.
It's just time constraint. If we have 3 hours, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Negotiation takes
But
a
I mean,
long
even
time.
for students, you think that the next game that you are going to talk with should be the first one that we teach, and then we go to this new game.
Yes, that's what I'm suggesting. Yeah. It's much simpler.
Okay.
Yeah, as you will see. This one, you manage three product lines, deal with three different market segments. It is quite involved, actually. You will take me about 40 minutes to just set up the game, and every round take an hour.
I
But
see.
student
I
learn a lot.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already in love with that game. I mean, it's very special and very nice because it's really hard, to teach kind of like game theory at the class and in that level. But this simulation is kind of provide a good opportunity for students to learn how the game even like can be managed and how they can play the supply chain from that game theory perspective without even going into the detail of mathematics of the game. So it's perfect for, I would say, or as you said, the supply chain classes, either operation or supply chain, that the students are not going to be involved in math heavily. So yeah, I mean, if you can like give us the deck, and it would be kind of like complete. If you have any video of your offline classes, like how you teach and cover, that would be perfect if you can share with us. Sorry if I asked too much things.
No problem. No problem. Great questions and great comments. Yeah, game theory is very hard to teach. I absolutely agree with you. I tried. Honestly, I tried. But no students were be able to sustain to the end. And why teach game theory? Just let them play. They will understand it intuitively,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And it's
Yeah,
also
you're
fun for
right.
you, fun for the game,
Yeah.
right? So you're having fun and
Yeah, if
also
it's
learning a
fun,
lot.
they learn.
Exactly.
Exactly. If it's fun, they can learn. Otherwise, it's like a few kind of more mathematics formula that they never try to even get back to that.
Yeah, it's very dry if you teach the math. But it's good for PhD students only, but for undergraduate,
Yeah,
especially executive students, it's not gonna work. I see in this game, students can play out the winning strategy by themselves. I didn't show
perfect.
them any math. I didn't do any lecture. They played
That's
out,
perfect.
right? You set up the game,
Hmm.
they experience it, then they figure out the best way to win. That's it. And most importantly, you let them share. I get them into discussions, share the strategies towards the end. So everybody learned, even those teams who lost learned. So in this game, a student will learn supply chain contracts, right? Negotiation, right? Supply chain and marketing interface. Actually, supply chain and marketing are closely linked. But we don't teach this much. But in this game, students going to play it out. And finally, of course, how to compete against other supply chains. Here's the interface. I'll give you an instructor account. You can try it out. So if you're interested, just send me an email. I will share. I will set up an account and also share the teaching deck. Here is just. I want to show you just two pages on the interface. It's a one-page application. It's very easy to operate. Right. Here's the game setup. You just need to specify number of supply chains and how many rounds you want to play. Right, and then type in students team's email. Right, one for each team. Here's the red supply chain. Here is the blue supply chain. So you have the florist and importers right in the same sequence. And then click the button start the game. Then you start. So for every round, right, this is a student's dashboard. Right, so this is the florist dashboard. Now importer's dashboard will look pretty much the same. Now for florist, here are all the decisions they have to make, right? Like the production capacity, retail price, right, and of course all the supplies, right, in terms of the quantities and the price, right. And now this part, the florist will have to negotiate with the importers. Right? Remember, this is part of the contracts, right? How much to buy and what price. And in addition, right, the florist will have to make decisions on operations excellence, meaning how much money they want to invest to improve the process, right? And also marketing decisions on relationships and promotion and advertising. Finally, they have to make sure the total budget is less than a preset value, just to make sure the game is fair to everybody. Right, and that's it. They check the budget and then they submit.